Today we're going to be talking about the Herta, or the Herta. So this is a very basic, it's not even really a hybrid rudiment, I would call it one of the most basic patterns you need to know. The Herta could be defined as basically just two 16th notes followed by two 8th notes. It can be played in an 8th note fashion, 1 and 2 and a 3 and, 1 and 2 and a 3 and. It can also be played as triplets. So if you take one triplet, two triplet, three triplet, four triplet as a check, it almost sounds like a single drag. Play the same thing, Hertas. So the trick is that rhythm-wise, that rhythm has to be accurate. The first two notes need to be 16th notes, second two 8th notes have to be 8th notes, okay? The most basic form of the Herta is just to play it straight up one height, just like I've been playing. Make sure the sticks rebound. Make sure you're turning from the wrist. I see a lot of younger players, and they try to play Hertas faster. They start to get tense, and they start to play with a lot of arm, kind of like this. And what happens is, you notice that time, even my rhythm started to get a little weird, but also your elbow down, like your forearm area just gets so tense, and that's really what we're trying to avoid more, especially when we're playing things faster. Wrist and fingers is going to be the key here. That back finger control and that finger control on each hand is really what's going to get you these Hertas faster. When you do it faster, it's getting that to get really nice and tight, almost like you're playing threes on a bass drum. And the trick is that right hand, or whatever hand is leading the Herta, you can certainly do Hertas left-handed too. Whatever hand is leading the Herta motion, it's actually playing a double. Both hands are playing a double. The off hand is playing two notes that are slightly, I'd say it's playing two 8th notes though. It's really just playing legatos, right? But this is playing a fast double here. So getting that double accurate is what's going to get your mechanics to play those Hertas faster. This is kind of going to be a deep episode today because we're going to talk about all the different things you can do with Hertas, because playing Hertas straight up is nice and fun, right? You can play them in 16th note patterns. Play them as I've been playing as triplets the whole time. So just like any other rudiment, you can take accents, put accents on them. You can accent the first note. You can accent only the second note. You can accent only the third note. Right? You can accent just the last note. That's a cool one. But one of the most common ways to play Herta I want to teach you is something that we used to call whirlybirds in high school. I don't know if they actually have an official name, but right-handed Hertas, right hand's down, left hand is up, so you get this sort of sound, where the upbeat is accented. And again, we used to call those whirlybirds. I don't know why, we just did. Alright? So that's one of the more common ones. Another really common one is first two partials are accented. Work on all these different accent patterns with the really basic form of a Herta. Okay? So once you've kind of gone through all of those and gotten all those feeling good, now let's talk about how you can transform the Herta. You can play what's called an inverted Herta, which is basically just starting with the 8th note. In terms of an 8th note and 16th note rhythm, instead of 1 and 2 and a 3 and, we would have 1 and a 2 and 3 and. Okay, so we have 1 and a 2 and 3 and, 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1. You're just starting with the 8th note. Okay, so in that case, now the left hand has that quick double, still play these as triplets too. It almost sounds like a single drag now. Okay, so now taking that accent idea, you can also accent the inverted Herta, and one of the most common patterns that you're going to play is with the offhand, the hand playing the eighth note right at the beginning, which in this case is the right hand. You're going to play both of those notes loud, so you're going to get 1, da 2, and 3, and 1, da 2, and 3, and. It's kind of like an offbeat pattern. It's cool. And you can play that off the left hand as well. It's the same thing as a whirlybird we just talked about, except you're actually starting on the last note of the Herta. You're starting on an eighth note. You're feeling that as a downbeat. Okay? So now we've done that. What you can do with that rudiment now too is you can add a flam on there. Same thing on the left hand. Okay, so I call those flam inverted Hertas. I mean, there's a couple different names for them. We used to call them like chup dig it ups, I think, because that's how they sound. Chup dig it up, chup dig it up, chup dig it up, chup dig it up. Alright, so yeah, there's a lot of different transformations that the Herta can go through, that's why this is kind of a longer video. But you have regular, all different accents, inverted Herta, accented, other hand, and then flams. Okay, so now that we have all those patterns under our hands, a lot of these single patterns are going to come a lot easier to us now that we can work on the actual pattern of a Herta. It's one of the most basic patterns in all of rudimental drumming.